I'm Emily Garrison from Shiraz. Today on Around the World in 80 Bottles, we're going to continue our journey in Spain to Rioja. And today we're going to make a classic Spanish omelet. Of course, in Rioja, they're going to call it a potato omelet, and it is the most commonly served tapa you'll ever get in a tapas bar. And in Rioja, that's what everybody does for dinner, is they go tapas hopping, where they go from each place to another and they order one thing and one glass of wine, and then they just move on down the road. So in that spirit, we're going to make a really nice little omelet. So what you want to do is you want to take one onion and get it in a nice dice, and you want to put this in any skillet that you want, but it needs to be oven safe because we're going to move this from the stove top to the oven. And you may want to go ahead and turn your oven on. Go ahead and preheat that to 400 degrees. What we're going to do is we're going to heat our oil in our pan and add that yellow onion, and then we're going to cook it for 5 minutes. Then you want to add your potatoes and your roasted red peppers. Now for the amount, all you need is 1 potato. So we're going to dice that up and add it into the pan. And then you can use any kind of roasted red pepper you want to, but I'm in love with these Rick Picks Peppy Pet Peps. They have so much flavor, so that's what I'm actually using. It's the equivalent of 1 roasted red pepper. So we're just going to add that in, and then we're going to put this back on the stove at medium, and then we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes and then add everything else. Now that we've got everything cooked down, all we're going to do is season it and add our eggs and put it in the oven. So I've got some fresh parsley, which is really the only thing we're going to use as far as seasoning, except a little bit of salt and pepper. So all we're going to do is sprinkle in some parsley. And about half of a teaspoon of salt. And about a teaspoon of pepper. And that's all the seasoning it's going to need. Of course, I'm going to add a little cheese on the top of mine. If you have any of that Aboras left over from last week, this is a great time to use it. We're just going to beat our eggs and we're going to pour them right over. You're not adding any milk, any seasonings, anything to this. We're just going to add that right in there. It smelled so good already, but I think we're going to have something really nice once we're done, especially once we add our Aboras. So all you want to do is sprinkle that, and you can use any amount you want to. It's a little or as much as you have in the fridge. If you don't have Aboras and you have some manchego or some Parmesan, that will be fine too. If you don't want to add the cheese, you don't have to. The most traditional version of this dish is actually the potatoes, the onions, the eggs, and some parsley. Everything else is pretty optional. Some people add meat, but I'm going to put a little bit of speck on our salad we're serving with this. So you're just going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees that we've already preheated, 15 minutes, and it'll be perfect. As always, guys, I wish you could smell this, because for as little as we put in there in the way of seasoning, it has turned out beautifully. And I'm just going to cut around the edge. Now you can use a non-stick pan if you want, but I really like cast iron. And there you go. To serve this, I'm going to do some fresh melons. You just want to cut those wedges, get rid of the rind there. Put it right there on the plate next to your omelet. And then our food item we're using this week is speck. It's a type of ham that's similar to prosciutto, and it works pretty much the same way. It's really delicious. And so instead of putting the ham in the omelet, I thought it'd be fun to put it on your salad. And what could be more classic with a traditional dish from Rioja than a tempranillo from Rioja? This is what they're going to be drinking there with this dish, and it melts very well with the flavors. So there we are, one more easy dish. And I hope you enjoyed your trip to Rioja with me. And please join me next time as we continue around the world in 80 bottles. Cheers!